better time for this game.
Everton boss David Moyes has been confirmed as Sir Alex's successor, signing a 6-year deal that will see him take the reins at Old Trafford from the 1st of July. Moyes has received much praise for the job he's done on Merseyside over the past 11 years, securing 8 top 10 finishes during his 10 full seasons in charge, in spite of the club's financial troubles. Though his contract was due to end this summer, this week's conversation with Everton chairman Bill Kenwright was an emotional one.
It was very difficult because I've got great respect for the chairman, and we've had a great relationship. He's a really good guy. He's been great to me. He's never been critical. He's always been supportive. Tried to give me everything he possibly can, and it was a difficult meeting, but a meeting that he totally understood, and knew that this was just where it was going.
So he'll be the new face in charge at Old Trafford next season. They wait with expectancy here for the re-emergence of Sir Alex and the team, and for the trophy presentation. They've known for some time, of course, that they were going to be champions, but now is the moment of real fulfilment for them, and that moment is imminent. Let's hear from the Swansea City manager now, Michael Laudrup, just reflecting on his time with Sir Alex Ferguson.
You were a great player, but what was it like for you to share this occasion with a great manager?
Oh, it's an honour for me to be here today. I mean, one thing is the manager say goodbye after a period of time, but here we're talking an era of 27 years. It's incredible. So really, I think this is really something very special, because you don't see things like that. Today managers change every 2, 3, 4 years. Here we're talking, a lifetime.
Even though you never played in this country, as a player were you always aware of what a special manager he was?
Yeah, of course. I can't remember Man United without him, and I think as you just said, I lived abroad. Imagine for people here, so a lot of people, they don't remember Man United before Sir Alex Ferguson. So, but there's always an after, a day after for all of us. And now it's new life for Sir Alex Ferguson and a new life for Man United as well. They have to adapt to a new manager, David Moyes, and best of luck to him.
Hard luck tonight. Thank you for talking to us. Thank you.
Well, you can see the two men who are going to be making the trophy presentation. Two legends, and that is an overused word, but not of these two, of Sir Alex Ferguson's time in charge. Steve Bruce and Brian Robson it will be. Let's get back to Old Trafford to Peter Draw. Well, it is a day this that bookends an era. 20 years ago, when Manchester United ended their generation in the shadows, their very first Premier League trophy was hoisted by Brian Robson and Steve Bruce. Now, those two of Fergie's original leaders will deliver his final trophy in front of a Stretford end, which is on the edge of its collective seat. Glimpsing down that tunnel in the corner. Here comes the main man. Preparing once more to lead his team out. The hard work is done. The match has been won, and in the context of this, actually, you can't help feeling that was quite important. Goal belted with a flop by Rio Ferdinand, and now history marked properly. That's how Manchester United do things. Everyone who's had a piece of it. Wayne Rooney in there now, having sat the game out. successor, Ron Atkinson, still a club ambassador, a man who skippered the club through managerial transition and set the modern standard for a Manchester United player. And Steve Bruce, who with Gary Pallister made up one of the most formidable centre-half pairings Sir.Alex has ever had, scored one never-to-be-forgotten goal deep into Fergie time, and will return to Old Trafford in the Barclays Premier League with his newly promoted Hull City team next season. They've done that before they were grey. Alex hasn't done it by himself. There have been key lieutenants down the years. First Archie Knox, then great years with Brian Kidd and Steve McLaren, a Jimmy Ryan spell before the start of a terrifically fruitful relationship with Carlos Queiroz. Walter Smith played a part briefly, and since 2008 Mike Phelan has sat at the right hand of the Almighty. Oh, but the kid man has always been there. And Rob Swire, the physio, Rennie Mullenstein. And you were saying through the game, Craig, how important his delegation has been.
Absolutely, and I was looking at Eric Steele, who was first out there, the goalkeeping coach. I was with Eric for a part of my career. What a job he had to play in terms of the goalkeeping situation for Sir Alex. But yeah, he's enjoyed the moment, hasn't he? Mike Phelan, a player for him, a hard-working player who signed from Norwich City, I believe, many years ago.
And so bring on the champions, and denuded of his spectacles, bring on the boss. Leading out Manchester United at Old Trafford for the final triumphant time, Sir Alexander Chapman Ferguson and his dancing troupe. You've got to laugh. He will laugh and he will cry. Born in Glasgow, New Year's Eve 1941. It was wartime Britain who gave birth to that wonderful warrior, who has created army after Red Army behind him. Now 71 years later, more than 9,500 days in charge of Manchester United, the 18th manager in Manchester United's history, Sir Alex, champion again and again and again, and now his 13th Premier League title in 2013, and this one he needs not defend.
Just wonder how much sweeter this is for them, Peter, bearing in mind they stood last year at the Stadium of Light waiting, and it was ripped from them by Manchester City at the death, and Michael Carrick there, what a season he's had, absolutely wonderful.
Rio scored the winner. And behind, and after all of the team talks and all of the words of advice and all the words of anger, and no doubt the differences of opinion and the moments of discipline and the moments of behind the scenes dissent, because an Old Trafford dissent rarely gets out. Behind all of that, look at the mutual affection, the real understanding each for the other and all for the club. Wayne Rooney, don't worry, he's raising a smile. He's got a handshake to the boss as well. It's Butler. Manny, who was unfortunate enough to be at the eye of the biggest playing storm of this season when Sir Alex's last crack at the Champions League was snatched away largely by his dismissal. David De Gea, who had certainly grown into this league this year, and it was a lot to thank the manager for. Raphael missed the bulk of his party because of his red card last week. Little matter. And Robin Van Persie proved this year made the difference. And a particularly lucky clap of the hand from the boss for his red-headed dynamo, who also bows out today. Beverly is another who has become a Manchester United player in a really meaningful way this year.
Hey,
A smart acquisition, Kaggle has been. And then there's Giggs. 13 times champions of England. He's won the Premier League as many times as Arsenal. Walking wounded. Young, only just walking. Another who had his life changed when S.Alex rang. Likewise Chris Smalling, first time champion. A year ago they lost their title by the cruelest, tiniest, latest of traumatic fractions. So how did Manchester United respond? They bounced back and they won it by a mile. A month early, a chasm clear of their nearest challengers. Not even close. And that has been the Ferguson hallmark. The club. The Manchester United club for a 20th time. In Fergie time. It's just another case of history repeating itself. S.Alex Ferguson's history, which went on and on and on and on. He won right to the very end. And this party will take some stopping. Greenwich was never going to get the trophy to himself today. The Manchester United players wanted their manager at the centre of the picture, and he enjoys the moment with each of them. And in a way, Craig, that's what marks itself out more than anything here as you look at these scenes. The affection, actually, beneath it all, the affection they have each for the other.
Well, I think it's, obviously it's a squad game, but I think, from Ferguson's point of view, the manager, it's about man management, and I think the top of all the wonderful players and world-class players he's had is the ability to manage and gel squads and players and superstars and egos together and get them to play and get them to enjoy each other's company. There's always the occasions where things go a bit awry, you've got to sort them out. That's part of the job, but it's been another side rebuilt, remodeled, reshaped, some young, some old, some experienced, some inexperienced, handing the reins over to David Moyes. I thought it was poignant as he talks to Steve Bruce and Brian Robson, his message to the fans and his speech when he said, "You supported me in my time in need, now support the new manager." I thought that was poignant.
It was a lovely line, wasn't it? A really lovely line. And what a fascinating conversation that would be to eavesdrop on. But the bounce back as well has been so illustrative of everything he stands for. Adversity has only ever been a catalyst for success at this club. By Ferguson's example, his ethic, his flair, his drive, his sheer force of personality, he has insisted that they win it back. And right to the very end, he has got his way. Manchester United, remember, went a generation without this sort of celebration between 1967 and 1993, 26 years. And now, in the ensuing 20 years, they've won it 13 times. Barclays Premier League champions in 2013, as they were in 11, 9, 8, 7, 3, 1, 2000, and 5 times throughout the 1990s. And all of this bouncing and partying is going on in front of the S.Alex Ferguson stand. And a 71-year-old man who's about to have a hip replacement is being asked to bounce up and down.
Yeah, he doesn't look as if he's moving too bad to me. I'm going to say, well, Wigan won the FA Cup yesterday, couldn't really celebrate because they've got a big match on Tuesday. But I don't think there's anything going to stand in the way of these players and management and club celebrating this. And I keep thinking it's the last day of the season. It's not. This was wrapped up relatively early again, wasn't it? And I think that's testament to the response after the disappointment of last season.
Yeah, they have been 20 times champions for 20 days now, actually. A couple of Mondays ago,